Okay, so I'm just gonna talk over what's about to happen. So this is a trail that I've already done before. If you watch previous videos, you'll notice I've done it. I just took a different route. This time I went up the middle and took the hardest route, and well, you saw what happened. So on the way back down, the trail was pretty washed out. It had been recently raining for like a week or two straight, basically. So the way down that I usually take when I do this trail, which you'll see looks familiar, was pretty washed out on one side, and I was taking it really slow because I didn't want to damage the truck. And as I was taking it slow, the truck was sliding, and because of the lift rods, it was throwing faults in the system or whatever. And basically what happened was I was sliding down, and somewhere along me going down this washed out part, the suspension, the what is it, the suspension rods went out of place. If you own a Land Rover, you know what that means. If you don't own a Land Rover, basically what that means is the lift rods are basically sensors, and they can move so far up and down, and if they move out of that range, the truck thinks that your suspension is inoperable, and it loses all the air in the suspension, and your truck drops to the bump stops. And then you have no suspension in the truck at all. And you'll see, after I finally get down this trail, which was like super tight and the truck was sliding, my rock rails were like pushing dirt on the side of the embankment. I could literally reach out and touch dirt. I'm pretty sure the GoPro scraped some dirt off the side. Like, we were super close to this. But once we got through that, the suspension, the rods went out of range, and the suspension dropped to the bump stops, and I heard it scraping, and I didn't know what it was at first, so I kept driving, and I got out, and you'll see when I stop and open the door, you can see how the tire is completely tucked into the wheel well, and that's a dead giveaway that your truck is on bump stops, because it should never be that low at all. The tire should never be completely tucked into the wheel well. So we finished that coming down the washed out part. We were going to the entrance to get out of it, and it was just scraping like a motherfucker. And I got out, and once we got out of the entrance, I got out and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely on bump stops. And I was trying to look up how to fix it, but I didn't have service up there, so I couldn't look it up. So I just had to drive it all the way back down the mountain to my house with no suspension at all. So at the very end, you'll see a picture of what it looked like on bump stops, and it was fucking slammed. I drove it all the way to the house like that, and every little thing, like even a rock on the road, if the tire went over it, the whole truck was just bouncing. It was a terrible ride, and I had to drive with the four-ways on, and I couldn't go more than like 30 miles an hour or something crazy like that. But yeah, watch and enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't give a fuck if you comment. Be sure to check out my other videos about off-roading, and let me know what you think about them.